In the world of podcasting, there are those who are already famous and those grinding their way to the top. These are the stories of a couple of nobodies.
Episode 5, folks, The Irrelevents. I'm Cameron McCain here with...
I'm Seth Judd.
And I'm a world-renowned UFO-ologist, John Russo.
He's actually he is so well-renowned and known in this field because he is. This is a little known fact about John. He is an alien.
Yep, I'm an illegal alien.
He immigrated here from the Bahamas. He just swam.
Space Bahamas.
Dude, what do you guys think about the Bermuda Triangle? Personally, that's not a conspiracy I buy into.
I've heard this, and this could
maybe something magnetic.
I've heard this could be bullshit, but I've heard that if you look at the statistics for how many ships and planes and everything go missing there, it's no more than any other.
It just happens to be that a lot of world traffic goes through that area.
Well, yeah, it's no more than any other heavily trafficked area in terms of international trade.
If that many people go missing just everywhere else too, I mean, that itself is kind of scary.
That's a real thing, though. A lot of people go missing.
I mean, it's the ocean. Who knows what the fuck happened? We don't. Traverse 90% of the ocean.
Real talk. If there were aliens who happen to have a base on Earth or something...
in the ocean.
It's going to be in the middle of the ocean. It's so unexplored. There's so many places to hide. You know, if aliens are somewhere on this Earth and on base or something, it's probably underwater.
It would almost certainly be underwater. Yeah. It's I don't know why they always say it's New Mexico or something like that. It's go to the middle.
Dude, have you heard the stories from Skinwalker Ranch?
I'm vaguely familiar with. This is the one where with that family that thought that they were being harassed by aliens, right?
Yeah, because I have heard about it. The cows would end up they would find cows in the middle of the field. The farmer would be a normal day, right? Farmer goes in to get some food, hears his cows screaming, comes outside, would find the cows totally drained of blood and cut so precisely it must have been done with a surgical instrument. And it happened so many times, and other people would come in and around the community and experience stuff like this that it just gives me chills to think about, dude. I wouldn't want to spend a night at Skinwalker Ranch.
Oh, absolutely not. And I'm not totally convinced on aliens.
Yeah.
I think that there is actually statistical reasons to not believe in aliens. At least in our sort of gravitational pocket of the universe.
That aliens have visited the Earth. Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, but
they exist somewhere out in the vast cosmos. Certain.
Pretty much undeniable at that point. But I think within
it could be 150 billion light years away.
And it's actually unless and I'm by no means a physicist, but you would have to move faster than the speed of light to get outside of our pocket of space. Unless wormhole theory was correct.
What if
the aliens are so long-lived that time itself becomes compressed? You know what I mean?
But even then, they couldn't reach us outside of the Andromeda and Milky Way galaxies.
Yeah, but there was have you heard of Muamua? It was this asteroid that was detected in the 1860s. That's very weird because it is very elongated and gives off a trail of something, almost like it's a comet.
Yeah, the one that I think they say it looks like a cigarette, right?
Yeah, in 2013, it made its loop around our sun and is now ejecting itself outside of our solar system. But it's the first detected visitor from outside.
Foreign entity from anywhere outside of our galaxy. Yeah, it's interesting.
So
you're fine.
The Voyager 1 probe is going 1,700 kilometers per second. Voyager 2 is going 2,500 kilometers per second. Muamua was hauling ass at 30 kilometers per second. Substantially faster than anything we could possibly,
Yeah. Crazy shit. And there's potential that it's fucking space and that
it could just be
happens in space.
Physics applies.
It could just be a giant rock,
A giant ejection from a planet or...
That being said, it has a sweet name. Oumuamua.
Yeah.
Which in
it sounds
Hawaiian,
like a Hawaiian. Okay.
In Hawaiian means visitor from the outside.
Yeah, I was about to say it made me think of a Hawaiian god or something.
That's where they first detected it on the Hawaiian Hawaiian.
Oh yeah, that one that's on top of that mountain in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm glad that's actually a creative way to name it.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I like when scientists get creative.
Yeah, dude.
I hate when they're just like, oh, this one is A9874-1.
Yeah, I'll settle for Tabby Star. At least I can look up who Tabby was. You know?
Yeah.
What are your guys' thoughts on Roswell?
I there's this YouTube channel I love called Lamino, right? And he looks into different like conspiracy theories, and he's very fair about it. Like the stuff with all those videos that came out from the U.S. Navy.
Yeah,
like he was like he actually admitted like there's no, or it is difficult to explain those away with the information we know, right?
Yeah. I know some people were saying parallax, which that effect of a plane moving.
That was with the one of them. That was with the one that was way low down too, and it seemed like it was going fast. But there were two more, and so he that one he looked at it was like it was the parallax. It probably was just a bit of ocean debris. But the other two were the ones that he was saying like were very
dude moving.
And he brings up all the counter arguments, but he talked about Roswell, completely debunked it in my mind. What it was is and so the U.S. Air Force said it was balloons. I thought it was a conspiracy theory. Then they said it was weather balloon, and that wasn't true. But it was a balloon.
Early warning
Project
detection
Mogul,
balloons.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and people have always pointed out it's like, well, the farmer said like it was a metallic object, but when he poked it, it moved like a liquid, and then it would turn back into like a solid metal. But those things were made of aluminum, which was incredibly rare in the 1950s. Right. The farmer just hadn't ever seen aluminum before. Because if you take aluminum foil and you poke it, it sort of moves around like a liquid for a second.
John, you should talk about Project Mogul, because Project Mogul itself is very interesting.
Oh, yeah. It's basically... Oh, so I mean, if you're knowledgeable...
I know a little bit about it. All I know is it's wasn't it our pre-nuclear detection system, like before satellites?
Yeah, it was basically an early warning system. But of course, they couldn't tell that to the public.
Yeah.
But
otherwise, the Russians would know that had a way of even detecting that.
Do you know the sort of physics on how it works?
Didn't it refract light? Or didn't it no? I thought it was like a mirror.
So it's this thing that we learned actually trying to fight like U-boats during World War II in the water. That if you, or not even trying to fight U-boats, but like you could help save sailors, you could drop this little thing down to a certain depth and it would float only at a certain depth in the ocean and then like release a sound, and that sound would travel much further at that one little pocket of the ocean because of like the density or whatever.
Okay, so they selected their buoyancy so they could get that spot.
Yeah, exactly that spot. There's like a hot spot in the water. And the same guy figured, well, there must be one in the air. And there was one in the air, like a same sort of hot spot like that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And so those things would float up and they could hear sounds, or like, the sonar would travel much further. So anything that crossed there, it could be like, something just crossed through this area.
Dude, what is it? Did you hear about the Russian nuclear system? I forgot what it was called, like Death's Hand or something.
Oh, the absolute annihilation one, where like if any of their
if Russian command wasn't able to keep a signal with this computer, if that signal were to drop for any reason, if the computer were to detect a change in pressure based on 1970s technology, keep in mind, they would launch the entire arsenal. Well, Seth, someone could have breathed on this thing wrong, and it would have nuked the entire world.
But wasn't there a Stanley Kubrick movie where they brought up that exact same... It was a comedy, too, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Like Love?
Dr. Strangelove.
Yeah, Dr. Strangelove.
The bomb.
No,
something like that.
Yeah, no, Dr. Strangelove. That's the one, yeah. Where the Russians, like there's this one general that's gone rogue, and he's trying to, like, fly these B-52s over the Soviet Union and nuke them. But the Soviets like, well, we have like a death machine that if we get nuked, then we automatically nuke the United States.
Mutually assured destruction.
Yeah.
Which nuclear technology, and when it comes to weapons, has come so far where you can essentially make a nuke with such low yield that it's essentially no different from a massive explosive, to the point where a nuke could be used and people wouldn't even know. So we're concerned now that we've reduced nuclear technology so much that threat of mutually assured destruction isn't there, meaning the threshold for someone to use a nuke is lowered.
Okay, so can I bring up like a hypothetical here just to hear sort of, I guess, your ethical and emotional, moral sort of thoughts on it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's say that you guys were president of the United States.
Uh-oh.
Which, don't worry, will never actually be president of the United States. That's not going to happen. None of us are named Bush or Clinton.
Hey, if Donald Trump can do it, or a corpse like Joe Biden can do it, why not?
Yeah. But okay, let's say you got news that China and Russia had fired all of their nuclear missiles at us, and they were going to completely destroy the United States. Would you get the football, open up, and retaliate, or would you just think, I would rather that all of not all of it, but a portion of humanity get to survive?
That is an interesting conundrum, because it's like, if you got nuked, you lose, buddy. And now you're just being a sore loser, trying to bring me down because you're a hater, dude. You're hating my style, dude. You're cramping my style.
But then there's the inverse of that, where it's like, well, I have the responsibility. I was given the responsibility to protect all of these people, and if I don't retaliate, I've in some ways failed.
Hasn't that responsibility already failed by the time they've launched those missiles?
The fact that we're susceptible to them at all is the failure.
You failed in diplomacy so far that you've already lost.
Yeah, it is a, and then okay, but then your threat was empty. The threat of MAD was entirely hollow.
The
debatably always was.
The way I would
who knows
go about
it's such a complex issue.
Yeah. It's the best thing for humanity is obviously not to nuke the fuck out of everyone. I'm all for not having nuclear weapons.
I don't think anyone's fighting you on that opinion.
Yeah, but I'm all. I think I would probably be like, you know what? Fuck it. Let them have this one.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm in this. I'm trying to kind of play like devil's advocate, but I don't think I'd fire back.
I would absolutely fire back. Dude, to turn the key that unlocks the silos.
Would you make a bunch of cool noises?
You have no choice. You can see it as having no choice but to use the most powerful power of all time.
Okay,
unlimited power.
If I was president, I think I would just have them bring me the nuclear, not even if they nuked us. This is day one in office. I would have them bring me the nuclear football, just so I could open it and look at it, just so I could be like, I can just do this. I'm not gonna do it.
Why not?
You think anyone's ever fucked it?
It's already.
Bill,
all that power.
Bill Clinton and JFK were presidents, so probably, yeah. It's gonna be a little sticky to open. You know?
I'm sure someone got carried away.
Has there ever been a president who was single when they went into office?
Actually, there was one president who never got married, and there's conspiracy theory, or not conspiracy. There are some historians who believe that he may have been gay because they read some of his letters with, I think, actually one of his secretaries, not the person who dictates for you, they were in charge of an executive office.
So he was more of a confirmed bachelor.
Yeah. He never got married.
Because I want to be the next Kennedy coming into office at 42 years old. Totally ballin', single dude, I'm gonna have a presidential dating show is what I'm telling you. It's gonna be a spectacle. I'm gonna make a mess of this joint.
Do you guys know the show Bachelor?
Yeah.
Where
the Bachelor.
Oh yeah, The Bachelor, yeah. Where there's a man who's 30 years old and wealthy and incredibly good looking.
What a petty show.
And they bring in 30 gorgeous women who all want to marry him, and he gets to date 30 women at once, and they tell you that the objective of the show is to find the love of your life. But I think the real objective of the show is to date 30 women at once and not become a sociopath.
Yeah.
That's the actual objective.
Well, I imagine they exclusively hire sociopaths to be the Bachelor. It's a more interesting show than that.
No, honestly, well, yeah, probably. But I mean, it's not like you'd have to find a sociopath. If some producer came up to me and was like, hey, would you like to be paid to date 30 women at once? I'd be like, yes, I would.
Yeah. I was going to offer to pay, but this is even better.
It's that sounds, they all want to sleep with me for a month.
Yeah, dude. Then they made The Bachelorette where you flip the deal.
Yeah. And they took popular losers from The Bachelor to make The Bachelorette.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is Oh man, what a society in decline. Or this is entertainment.
Dude.
Oh yeah, James Buchanan. That was the president theorized to be
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
gay. Yeah.
You guys ever see Love Island? That's another really terrible.
Oh, that
I've-
one's so much more
I have
trash.
only
Yeah.
heard terrible things. I've only heard terrible.
I got a text.
Those two.
Oh, God.
That I think I saw the most, or like one episode of the most recent season with the two identical blonde twins. I don't know.
Oh man,
It was terrible. No.
Well, I remember my sister. We were talking about shows like that, and she's like, "Oh, you have to watch my one of my favorite shows. It's called Blowmasters. Blowmasters. Yeah, they have to. They have glory holes
What?
and they stick things into them. And I was like, "What the fuck are you watching, Miranda?" She's like, "No, give it a chance.
Is it
we
a
gotta watch
Japanese
it."
show?
No, it's called Blowmasters, and it's about sticking things into glory holes. And I was like, okay, that's weird. And then she showed me it, and it's about glass making. And I was like, oh, okay, that was pretty smart. Because
also-
the thing that they blow the glass in is called a glory hole, and they're Blowmasters.
Because
the glass
there
blowing.
was some Japanese show where they had like a straight porn star and a gay porn star, two dudes, and the bet was that the gay porn star couldn't make the straight one complete to come to a finish.
That was a game show.
Yeah.
Okay,
Anything flies over there, dude. Japan is so
Jesus
sweet.
Christ.
Their game shows are awesome.
but after hearing about, there was a show called Blowmasters, I have a genius show for a show that we would have to shoot in the Netherlands. You know where this is going
Oh
already.
yeah.
Where it's like we have a bunch of cocaine producers.
Okay.
Blowmasters.
And,
Yeah.
and they have to make the best blow, and the judges all have to be addicted to cocaine.
That's great.
I would watch
They don't
that
have to be
in a
like-
second, dude.
Oh, that one was pretty good. Let me try just a little bit more of that one.
Dude, but yeah, that sounds awesome.
So would there be like a special like subcategory or another judging section for like say crack cocaine or like
I guess there would have to be
spin-off
yeah.
shows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Blowmasters cracked.
That was fucking
Oh.
sweet, dude.
Yeah.
and you could shoot it in the Netherlands. They would be legal.
Yeah.
No one have a
Yeah.
problem with it there.
Or
Oh,
to
yeah,
go
dude.
over to Oregon.
Yeah, they
Well, it's just decriminalized. It's still, you can't.
that's such
you
a
can't
weird
do it.
gray area.
Yeah.
If you
that's
happen
insane.
to have crack, I'm not going to say anything about it, but don't bring it here. Don't tell me you smoked it. It's just like it's just like those weird rules.
If the police catch you smoking crack or with crack and like a non distribution amount of it, you'll only get a fine. Like
Yeah.
in Maryland.
It's kind of
where
like don't ask, don't tell for cocaine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Don't kill for cocaine.
That's a perfect way to
Yeah,
describe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the gay porn star won, by the way. He slayed him.
Well,
Nice.
You ever hear that?
Good on him.
You ever hear that idea that popped up on Tumblr where it was it's supposed to be like a show about like all the men in the house are gay except for one who's straight, and they have to try and like vote off the
Figure it
people who
out.
they think are the straight man.
That sounds amazing.
And you only get paid money until you're down to the last person. If
Dude.
the last person is straight, he gets $1 million.
Dude.
But the twist of the show would be that all the men on it are straight.
That's funny
So
as
they all
shit.
have to pretend to be gay.
That
to
sounds
try and get
awesome,
the $1 million.
dude. That sounds so
Yeah,
good.
and we just don't tell them.
That's funny. as
Honestly,
hell.
why is that not in production right now?
Yeah,
Seth, don't give away our secrets, dude. We got to get this shit going.
That's funny.
It's like no one's reading Tumblr and knows this.
I'll get
you
Nick
know?
France to be our executive producer. It's gonna go off, dude.
I don't know that I'd put Nick France in a position of responsibility.
Dude, we got to get him on the pod. I'm trying to
yes,
work something
yes.
out with his schedule. I think he's working at Wegmans now.
Yeah.
So he
I've
has
seen-
weird
I've seen
hours.
his Snapchats and everything.
Yeah.
That would be an interesting man to have on the podcast.
He said he was trying to start his own. I'm like, dude, we have all the equipment. Just drive down the street, you know? He's over in Baltimore, so
Okay,
bit of a haul. But he got his license and he got a car. So he's been working for.
Yeah, he lived up in like Whitehall or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he lived up north.
Out towards Dundalk. Dude, you guys ever been to a Ravens game?
I
Over
have
at M&T Stadium?
M&T Bank Stadium.
I
Yeah.
have
Yeah, I mean, I have a little Ravens flag right up there,
Nice, dude.
and you know that half the time I'm wearing a Ravens jersey.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I love the Ravens.
Those dirty birds.
Hey man, it's Birdland. Go O's, go Vens.
Oh,
You
hell
know,
yeah, dude.
I love going to Ravens games. It's so. I mean, like I never get a good seat because it's so fucking expensive because everybody loves the Ravens. But I sit way up in the bleachers and can't really see the game. But it's just a fun atmosphere.
So would you say football is your most watchable sport to you?
Yeah. I mean, I like baseball. And I'll watch the NASCAR races when they're on. I'm leaving them not super into it. But I never ever miss a Ravens game.
Dude, have you ever been to a arena football game?
Oh,
where they're
indoor football? Yeah,
dude,
I've heard
you
of
can
it. Yeah.
talk to the players and they'll cuss you out. It is insanely fun. It is awesome.
That's a thing in California, no? Wasn't there?
They have
Well,
it all over the place.
There's a whole league.
I went to a game in Maryland.
It's called the IFL. Yeah, the Indoor Football League.
Dude, what
I
happened to
didn't
the
know about that.
XFL?
Oh, the
Not
second
Hulk
one.
Hogan.
The guy who's
Vince
in charge
McMahon.
of WWE. Actually, that's his second iteration of it. He tried it once before and it was a horrendous failure.
What about it failed?
It was he would try to basically make football into WWE. Like they would go into the cheerleaders' locker rooms, man, and instead of a coin toss, you'd have two wide receivers chase the ball and beat it. It's like you could
Instead of a coin toss, they have flip cup.
And he was like, it's not a man sport anymore, so helmet to helmet and shoulder to helmet contact was okay, which is
yikes.
which is, I mean, do you guys know about what happened to Antonio Brown?
No,
He was the Steelers wide receiver. I think I want to say they were playing the Bengals. And he went up to get a ball, and this some defensive back for the Bengals made helmet to helmet contact with him.
Oh.
He went unconscious on the field for 3 or 5 minutes or something like that, and then he just lost it. He completely lost his mind he's playing again. He plays for the Bucks now, who just won the Super Bowl. He actually made a great catch in it, but for a few years, he just kind of lost his mind. He threw a couch out of a window. He would go on Twitter rampages and shit. He got kicked off of the Steelers, even though he was their star wide receiver. He went over to the Raiders, immediately got kicked off. Went over to the Patriots, who kicked him off the team before the season actually started, and he was out of football for 3 years, and then just the Bucks picked him up because Tom Brady told him that he wanted Antonio Brown. And I mean, he's doing a lot better now, which I'm happy about. But helmet to helmet contact, there's a reason it's banned.
Dude, it really seems like the introduction of all these safety measures, like gloves in boxing or helmets in football, or hard helmets rather than the leather ones.
Yeah.
Has led to far more grievous injury.
Well, I mean, the hard helmets for football are meant to protect you from getting they're they keep improving the design, but it's supposed to, because the leather helmets, you still had bone hitting bone.
Because I've been to a live rugby game when I was over in Ireland, it was tight. It was really awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But the types of hits and tackles they were doing was specifically to avoid neck injuries and stuff. They were going out of their way to not do that. And in boxing, back when it was bare knuckle, ironically, you get way less CTI cases because no one's going to go for the face when you break your hand every single time you do it.
Yeah, that does make sense. Yeah.
Ironically, the introduction of safety measures has made things more deadly over time.
Because I guess when you have helmet-to-helmet contact, these two hard plastic helmets hitting each other.
A repeated car crash.
And then the shoulder pads are the same issue, but for only one person, where it's a big plastic thing hitting you in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know that football used to be a lot deadlier than it was. In 1939, FDR actually had the president of the United States. FDR had to step in and tell. I think it may have been called the NFL at that point, but it may have still been the APFA, which is what the NFL was initially called.
What does that stand for?
American Professional Football Association.
Okay.
But he had to step in and say you have to do something about how dangerous this sport is, because in 1939 alone, 11 people died while playing football.
Man.
Yeah, almost all of them from breaking. And then the NFL was like, okay, fine, you can throw the ball forward.
Yeah, I forget that was a rule back then.
Yeah, you couldn't throw the ball forward. Yeah, it was just against the rules. And then even then there were just tons of restrictions. You had to be 5 yards away from the line of scrimmage to throw the ball. Which they got rid of.
So that's actually an interesting choice on FDR's part, because it also disassociated American football from the rugby tradition.
Well, he didn't say that.
Help to separate it.
He didn't say that.
Even if that was just a side consequence.
Well, he didn't say that they had to introduce the forward pass. He was basically just saying that they had to make it less deadly in some way.
Yeah, but those changes led to it being separable from rugby.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. I mean, and it was already in some way separable because rugby doesn't have downs.
Yeah,
which is the thing that I think that the thing which really makes me love football so much is that it is a game of strategy because of the down system, where every single down there are 2 head coaches and 4 coordinators, actually 6 coordinators.
Did the coach used to be on the field with the players?
Yeah.
Was that a thing?
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I thought that was just a joke I heard or something.
No, I actually watched like the oldest recording of American football being played.
Oh man,
so the league started in 1920, but the oldest recording is like 1933, and it looks so weird. Every single play is a gut run, which is when you run straight up the middle. All of the plays were that play over and over, and the coaches stood about a yard back from the furthest lineman.
I brought the
right
playbook.
there.
I brought the playbook for the next game, boys. Oh, that's just a sheet. Wow, okay.
It's
awesome.
It's like you bring out the playbook and it's like, okay, our first play is gut run right. Our second play is gut run left. I think we're going to alternate between the 2 of those all game.
Yeah,
yeah, but I love it because it's like a game of strategy. All the coaches are trying to like get into the other one's head about like how are they going to address this situation.
If this were an IGN review, I'd call this an interesting mix between real time and turn-based strategy.
Yeah, it really
8.5.
7 out of 10. Too much water.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god.
That's the best review in all of
that was for one of those Pokemon games.
That
right?
was water based. Yeah, it was a water-based Pokemon game.
Pokemon Blue has too much water this year.
Yeah.
9.5 out of 10.
It was the whole review was 7 out of 10. Too much water.
Dude, what happened to IGN? Like, they used to be like an actual respectable part of the games industry.
Back around when like Halo 3, like I feel like they were at their peak around like Halo 3, Gears of War, like when Gears of War and Halo were real big, that was there.
You know what else was big at that time? G4 TV.
Oh,
you remember
yes,
that?
Yes,
Attack
I do.
of the Show, you know, X-Play with Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
X-Play had that Playboy bunny on it.
Yeah,
every time.
dude.
What's her name? I don't remember her name. That's why I watched the show when I was young.
Dude, I was there for the Halo 3 sneak peek.
Yeah.
Really?
I was like, this is insane. This is on TV?
I remember Halo 3 was so cool when it first came out.
Yeah, dude.
I was so excited to play that game.
An entire channel dedicated to games. I guess that's just Twitch now.
Yeah.
That's just Twitch.
And honestly, when I play video games, I like to put Twitch on in the background.
Oh yeah,
like it's just sort of nice. Like I watch a guy playing a game while I play video games. It's sort of just nice background shit.
Yeah, dude. I like the speedrunning community. I watch a lot of Dark Souls and Binding of Isaac speedruns.
I like to watch like the top ever speedruns. I watched the fastest Minecraft speedrun, the fastest like what was the original Mario game? Super Mario.
Yeah, just
Super Mario. I watched that. I watched Mario 64. That one's actually really
dude, there's
cool.
Some insane glitches in that game.
Yeah,
crazy stuff.
I watched the Mario Odyssey one, the first ever sub 100-hour speedrun. Or sorry, sub hour speedrun.
Oh,
not 100 hour. Never mind. Sub hour.
Dude, have you ever seen the GTA 5 speedruns?
I have not. How the fuck do you speedrun that game?
So I think the best time right now is something like 9 hours and 50 minutes.
What?
That's ridiculous.
Seth, I have seen so many things go wrong 8.5 hours into a speed run. It's like, how can you commit to ever becoming the best at this? That's so difficult.
Because like with
Minecraft
and the Mario games, it's like you can beat Minecraft in under 20 minutes.
Think of how glitchy the GTA games are. I mean, like Michael getting out of the car and tripping over a curb 5 hours in, reset. I missed that ladder, reset. It is insane, dude.
You have to just do it perfectly, like
yeah. The guy I watched at Dark Viper AU, he has like something like 9,500 hours in GTA 5. Has never played online. Like rarely ever touches it.
Wow.
All he does is speedrun.
Okay, what do you think would be the most ridiculous game to speedrun? Actually, Tetris. I just answered.
Actually, those speedruns are fun. If you watch
How do you beat Tetris.
Dude, the experts are like they see the
go-
first
don't you-
drop and they're just good to go.
Can't you push the block down in Tetris?
But you can't speedrun Tetris because you can't.
Because there's
Tetris.
technically an end.
Oh, there's no end.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
but watching the competitions is really
no.
cool.
That is cool. That is very like. What is the what of the games that you can finish? What would be the most ridiculous one?
Hearts of Iron 4.
You can't finish Hearts of Iron 4.
Exactly.
Well, that's again, you
I
can't
get it.
finish it, you know? I mean, you can take over every country in the world and just sit there, I guess. I guess you won at that point, but you'd feel kind of stupid in like 1957 trying to invade Bhutan.
Yeah.
You know?
like that's actually a really good question though. What would be the most ridiculous game to speedrun? It'd have to be something as long as maybe Red Dead. That would suck.
That would
suck.
Because that's like a good 30-40 hour story, especially if you do the epilogue at the end. That's like 50 hours.
Yeah, dude.
That would suck to speedrun.
Speedrun Skyrim, but do all the quests.
All the side quests.
The Skyrim speedruns are actually interesting.
But I imagine they just do the main quest, right?
Yeah, they skip a lot.
Yeah.
They skip a lot. But I like watching those like fist only Skyrim videos. How to beat Skyrim at level 1. How to beat Skyrim without ever having an equip load.
Wow.
That's interesting to see.
I saw someone beat Fallout New Vegas without using weapons.
Yeah, dude.
No, like not even like just using the fist, like a pacifist.
Oh yeah.
And apparently you can do it.
Oh yeah.
I know there was a. Can't you speedrun Fallout 3 in like half an hour or 20 minutes?
I used to know where the glitch was as a kid. When you're going into like Northeast DC, you can clip into a wall somewhere, and they'll let you get underneath, so you can go straight to the Citadel.
Oh,
At which
really?
point you can
it'll
receive
get
your
you
power
right into
armor.
the Pentagon, but you have to like walk up a bunch of weird stuff, and it's not very intuitive.
Not at all, but
No.
that game was a mess of glitches.
It was
it was made by
fun.
Bethesda.
Dude, that thing chugging on a PS3 when you'd been playing for 50 hours and your file was so massive, it just barely
Carrying all your
worked.
shit in a 55-gallon drum.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I find it so weird that there's just like one dev out there that when they have glitches, we're just sort of like, that's fine.
That's what we call a feature
Yeah.
over here.
It gives character.
Yeah.
It's robust.
Yeah, man. That trope though has gotten played out to the point where people are starting to really call developers on their bullshit.
Yeah. Especially with like Fallout 7, Fallout 76 was like the most glitchy one they'd ever made,
Yeah.
but it was a disaster.
Apparently people still play that game.
I mean, yeah, and I've heard they've made it a lot better.
Like what though? Just as on concept, it doesn't really work. Not with the firing system in
It's
Fallout
like,
4.
well, especially it's like, oh, we took an RPG and made it even better by removing the story.
Yeah, dude.
You know, the thing
imagine they didn't have NPCs.
Yeah,
I never
when the game
bought
came
that
out.
game.
Oh.
I never even played it.
Oh,
I didn't buy it
I didn't
either.
even touch it.
Yeah.
There was no NPCs. Then they introduced robots, and then eventually, I guess, they got people. But who even cares? You heard that Anthem, I think it was this week, they were going to decide whether Anthem lives or dies, whether Anthem
Really?
Next is ever a thing. Yeah.
Wow.
I actually really enjoyed Anthem. It became redundant after about 10 hours, but I had a lot of fun playing it. I think
on concept, it's really
yes,
cool.
yes. I think they could expand
It's
Anthem
like Iron
to a lot
Man.
more.
It's like Iron Man meets an open world Halo.
But
Yeah.
I kind of heard
which sounds like it can't go wrong.
I kind of heard that it was like it suffered from like the bullet spongy thing, where it's like when a boss is really hard, what it actually means is you're gonna have to shoot this boss for a long time.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a great way to do
And
your
just,
battles.
And just like throw a lot of explosives at it.
I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like Destiny 2 suffered from the same problem.
I never played Destiny, unfortunately. No.
I know Cooper loves Destiny, but it's
Oh yeah, he loves Destiny. Yeah.
I would not pay full price for that game.
All right. Here's a new one. What do you guys think of Cyberpunk?
Seth is the only one who can play it.
It
I have a PS4 copy.
Yeah, I have a monster
I never
PC.
bought it.
When I brag to people about my PC, I tell them, yeah, it can run Cyberpunk, only slightly glitchy. So I bought the game on release day because it released on my birthday.
Mhm.
And so it was, my parents got it for me as a birthday present. And it's really, really, really fun if you play the story and only the main story.
I heard the story's excellent.
The story's amazing, and I haven't actually picked it up in a while. I put like 30 hours into it, and then I put it down because I wanted to wait for them to fix like all all the stupid glitches, because there's
Yeah.
a lot of glitches. The game.
Seth, when you were showing me the game and you ran into that water tower with the
Yeah,
motorcycle
yeah.
and just glitched inside
of it, I couldn't get out
started
of it.
shaking just violently until he hopped off the bike. That was awesome.
And then my bike was just stuck in there for like, the rest of the game. It was like, okay, I guess I don't own that bike anymore. No, but the story is really, really good. The shooting is stupid.
The combat felt really clunky.
Yeah,
What about Justin Timberlake? Isn't he in there?
Oh, there's so many celebrities just hidden throughout it.
Oh, really?
Hideo Kojima's in there.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I think they hid PewDiePie in there somewhere. But it's a really good story, and I find that the most fun way to play the game is just to do the hacking, like do everything as stealth. That's the way that because I don't like the shooting because it's either like it's kind of stupid. Or it's just way too... Like, you can easily shoot your way out of any situation.
Right.
So I do the hacking and stealth everywhere I go because it actually makes the game feel harder.
And it brings strategy and...
Yeah.
It's like actually a game, not just a shoot thing.
Not just, that guy is dead.
Yeah.
Is it what you expected?
No, not even close.
What did you think the game was going to be like?
There's a lot of things that didn't mean... One, they talked so much about the character customization, and it was worse than Skyrim's.
Yeah, there's not all that much.
Which came out in 2011. They talked a lot about how like the mods that you got on your body would actually affect what your character looked like, which they don't. That was just a lie. It was the side quests that are out there. I mean, I've heard that there are some good ones that are hard to find, but there's just so many side quests that are just like, that it was like the Activision stuff where it's like, oh, look, it's we have 200 side quests, but it's actually like the same side quest and over and over.
That was the same thing with Anthem, dude. It's like, how many times can you play the same fucking thing and call it a different thing?
It's like the fact that you just changed the location of where I do the same thing didn't make it a different quest.
And they could make, like, one of the things that really bothers me is I think with a little more development, they could actually make it more interesting.
Dude, give it another year and a half in the cooker. Problem is...
Wait, Cyberpunk or Anthem?
Anthem.
Either.
I mean, Cyberpunk, there's so much good shit there. They just gotta make you able to play the good shit,
Yeah.
Cut out the bullshit.
I heard one of the big problems was that they had to pull a big vertical shift when the PS5 and Xbox, who cares what it calls, come out, Yeah,
it's the Xbox Series S. Honestly, Microsoft...
Worst naming convention, dude.
They
so bad.
It's still not as bad as the Fast and Furious. Can I actually... Okay, this is a side tangent. I'm going to pull this up real quick. Just what the Fast and Furious movies are called.
Oh God, yeah.
Because the naming convention.
Fast and the Furious, Too Fast, Too Furious. Fast and Furious, Tokyo Drift.
Wait, hold up. Let me actually pull it. Okay, so I've looked at this. They never, ever maintain the same naming convention. They're all a different convention. The first one is the Fast and the Furious.
Okay.
Which I emphasize the because that will become relevant.
Then we have Too Fast, Too Furious.
Too Fast, Too Furious. That seems like a
different fucking movie.
Fast, 3 Furious.
Then we have the Fast and the Furious 3 Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, the Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. And then the fourth movie is just called Fast and Furious. Fast and Furious.
Oh God!
This is confusing.
Let us try to guess it. Okay, what's the next one?
What's the fifth one called?
Fast 5.
It is called Fast 5.
Oh God!
Yeah, but 5 is spelled out. What is the sixth one called?
Too Fast and the Too Furious.
Is 7 the Fate of the Furious?
No. 6
Isn't that 8?
6 is Fast and Furious 6, which should have been the naming convention the entire time.
Yeah.
And you could have put the thes in there. Okay, what do you think the seventh one's called?
I swear it's the Fate of the Furious.
I think that's the eighth one.
With the submarine.
The Fate of the Furious. 8.
I don't know. Makes sense.
No idea. Give it to us.
So it kind of seems like they wanted to harken back to the 5th with Fast 5, but they fucked it up because it's called Furious 7.
That sounds like a Western.
And then you're right that the Fate of the Furious is the 8th one.
Was the Furious 7 at least Western themed? Because that could have been cool. Driving through Nevada, that could have been tight.
It could have been, yeah. But, okay, what...
Oh, Seth.
This is the most ridiculous
Seth,
one.
I have an idea for the podcast. Before you get to that, we should marathon all of them. And give a review.
I am down.
And give a review, dude.
I'm down.
That's
Okay.
gonna be tight.
Okay. But what do you think the 9th and final thus far movie
There's
is going?
9?
Yep. What do you think the 9th one is called?
The last. I don't know.
The Friends of the Furious.
F9. It's just called.
It's just a key on the computer.
Oh my god! It's called F9.
They didn't even come up with the title. Someone hit the wrong button on the script, and they just went with it.
They're just like, oh yeah, F9. It's called F9.
What the fuck?
And like,
That
I was
is
like,
awful.
is that about F1 racing, like
Yeah,
Formula One
what?
racing? But
It doesn't.
like,
It's
the 9th best form of race because it's Formula One because
This
it's
is-
like the Formula One cars,
So
the fastest.
did the
cars.
9th one come out after Hobbs and Shaw?
I don't even know what Hobbs and Shaw.
Hobbs
is.
and Shaw is the
It's
Fast
The
and
Rock
Furious.
and Jason Statham.
Yeah.
When did that come out?
Like last year.
Yeah, like a year ago, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, that one. This
I actually heard that one was pretty good.
F9 isn't even released yet. It comes out in May.
Oh God.
Yeah, F9. Yeah,
I heard Hobbs and Shaw was actually okay though.
I actually
I like The Rock and I like Jason Statham.
I thought it was funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was a fun movie. It was silly. I mean, it was fat cheesy a little bit.
We should
like-
establish: are any of us Fast and Furious fans?
No.
No, haven't seen a single one of the movies.
I caught a couple on a cruise once.
but
I had no
kinda
idea what
thing,
was
yeah.
happening or who they were.
Cam, you watched Jack and Jill blackout drunk once, right?
No, I was a child and I saw.
Oh, you
in
saw it sober.
theaters.
Oh, that's a war crime.
That's where it all went wrong,
explains so much, Cam.
dude. That
Is that like a horror movie? Am I?
Yes.
Yeah.
When it comes to product placement, yes.
No,
Okay.
it's
Adam
Adam's.
Sandler,
Oh.
and he plays his sister Jill, who's also Adam Sandler. But wait a minute, guys. He's triple billed because he also plays her bird.
What? I didn't know
Yeah.
he played the bird.
Yeah.
What?
And catch this, dude. So Adam Sandler, as part of his deal, is that if you're going to sign him onto a movie, you give him $20 million to show up the first day. You pay him $20 million to show up. And all of his movies since like 2005 have just been him on vacation where they happen to film. It's a scheme, dude. It's
Okay,
a tax scheme.
But it's also brilliant because he has the amazing ability to play Adam Sandler in every single one of his movies.
yeah, dude.
He
Right,
just
he's
plays-
just him.
Yeah, it's just. I'm convinced that's just who.
Like,
Adam
what
Sandler
happened to the
is.
Waterboy days where he'd do all the really weird stuff he used to do back in the
What
comedy?
was
Yeah.
the golfing one?
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That's a funny movie,
Yeah, that's
dude.
yeah.
Like he was. That's what really pisses me off about Adam Sandler is that he is someone who has been blessed with talent. He is a good comedian. He can make funny movies. He chooses to be a hack.
He was on SNL.
Yeah.
He's a funny guy.
Yeah, man, and he just chooses to be a hack.
Yeah, I mean,
It's working for
How
him.
much is he worth? Because
Yeah.
I might choose to be a hack for that kind of money.
Yeah, that's the beauty of selling out. It implies you were
You
at some
sold.
point good enough to sell.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly,
You make
exactly.
money when you sell, motherfuckers.
Yeah, those Adam Sandler comedies, man.
Hey man, the lowest
used to be
common
fire.
denominator. They have money still.
Yep, and unfortunately, that's seems to be where all the movies are slinging towards. Like the whole Marvel era movies.
Very formulated.
Very formulaic. They're like McDonald's. It's always perfectly edible. Sometimes it's pretty good, but at the end of the day, there's nothing standing out about those movies.
And you're expecting to get the same thing when you go there.
I didn't even
it's sort of
watch
like
Endgame.
the Hallmark Christmas movie things where it's an industrial movie production.
Right.
I know what the plot's going to be. Like those Hallmark Christmas movies. I can sum up all of them.
Dude,
Businesswoman from big city has to go back to small town for Christmas, where she meets small town boy and shows her that family or some bullshit is more important than work.
every single Hallmark movie immediately fails the Bechdel test.
What the fuck is that?
It's a test to see that if a movie has two women characters, if they talk about some guy. Every single Hallmark movie fails.
Well,
With the exception of Cyber Seduction. Have you seen this one?
Never heard of that.
Now, this is a production from the late 90s, early 2000s about a kid who discovers internet porn, and he was a swimmer and his entire life falls apart to the point where he's sending himself porn gifs from his girlfriend's PDA, because this is the early 2000s.
What the fuck is a PDA?
Her BlackBerry.
Like a
He's emailing himself porn links from her thing. It's ridiculous.
Okay.
Another terrible movie you guys should go all check out. It's pretty good.
How drunk do we have to? Like, how
You
many beers in?
You got to be a solid 2.5 beers.
I mean,
it's watchable. It's not terrible.
Okay.
Makes
It's funny on premise.
How many beers did you say?
2.5.
I'm not gonna have a buzz at 2.5, man.
It's not. It's a watchable film sober. Honestly, it's not terrible.
You know what movie you have to watch though? Money Plane.
Gotta watch Money Plane.
Yeah. You want to see a dude fucking an alligator?
Money Plane.
The guy who starred in the critically acclaimed TV show Frasier says that line.
Oh yeah, they got Kelsey Grammer on the track.
Yeah,
and he is hamming it up.
And his character is
Darius
Grouch the Third,
yes.
better known as the Rumble.
Yes.
If your last name is Grouch, nobody needs a nickname for you.
God.
Your last name is Grouch.
And the best part of the movie is that you can tell they're not really filming on a plane. If they are, it's in a lot somewhere sitting on the ground.
Yeah. And
like,
it's nowhere near as big as the plane they show you.
They use the same set, and there's just like blinds that they open up and close to change the set. Nothing makes sense. There's no like continuity.
But they also show you like video of the plane like flying overhead, and it's like this massive
it's a double decker.
Yeah.
But when they show the plane, it's like a 737 inside. You're like, what is this?
Yeah, it's like this tiny little, relatively small, within the United States passenger plane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some local commuter. And they're just filming inside it because they got a weekend to do it. Honestly, it looks like the people in it were having fun. And that's something you can enjoy about a movie.
It also kind of looks like they spent all of their production budget on Kelsey Grammer.
Yes.
They spent all of it on Kelsey Grammer.
Because the special effects are... God, it's non-existent in some places.
Like when there's the guy fighting the snake, but there's no snake.
God, yeah, it's just
because like the whole premise of it is like there's this secret plane that billionaires fly on.
It's like the world's most elite casino in the sky.
Okay.
Essentially, like how you'd go on a boat offshore so that there's no loss. You know?
Yeah, and they. They bet on all sorts of weird things,
nonsensical things.
Yeah, and like one of them, a guy gets his arm cut off, and the one dude wins money off of that. It's like, what were they betting on there?
As if the bet was to see how long it'd take him to bleed out,
or like
what,
or that his arm would get cut off. What are they betting?
Are you betting whether he had high blood pressure and will therefore die faster? Like what? How does that work?
Or like when the guy fights the snake that's not there, it's like, who was the guy who bet on the man? He's a fucking snake.
It is one of the best bad movies to come out in a long time.
Yeah, but I want to set up a betting thing actually like that. 2020.
Yeah, within the last year.
Really? Yeah.
And what's it called again?
Money Plane.
Money Plane.
You want to see a dude fucking an alligator? Money Plane.
They need to make that a bumper sticker.
Yes.
That would sell big time, dude.
It's like, why would I want to see that? And how would I bet on that?
It's just nonsensical to the core.
And imagine trying to play poker on a plane because you hit turbulence.
Yeah.
You know?
Dude.
Like the chips would fly everywhere.
Yeah. Dude, we got to check out that sci-fi movie where they try to move the entire Earth and stop it from crashing into Jupiter.
Yes,
we got to watch that too.
Yes, we do.
John, we have so many bad movies.
We got to watch.
Let a watch party, dude.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I'm excited for the Fast and Furious marathon, though. I know nothing about those films.
I'd be down.
We're going to lose a few IQ points.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
I could use to lose.
Dude, at some point, we got to do an Adam Sandler night where we start from his best movies back in the 90s to the trash he produces today. God.
Okay, so sort of speaking of Adam Sandler, who's on SNL and everything, you know who I thought got sold really short on SNL?
Who?
Who was in my opinion, other than Bill Murray, the funniest guy to have ever been on SNL?
Who's that?
Norm Macdonald.
Oh, yeah.
The dude's hilarious. The dude is hysterical. All of his OJ jokes during the trial were so funny, man.
It's incredible he hasn't been canceled, but that's just been his shtick the entire time, which is the beauty of it.
He has a podcast now, and it's It's fucking great.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. He has. I don't remember what it's called, but it's a great podcast. It's hilarious.
I heard Bill Burr and Bert Kreischer teamed up to do the Bill Burt podcast.
Bill Burr.
Which
Bill Burr and
pretty good naming
Bert
convention.
Kreischer. That's a weird combination.
Yeah.
Because you have the happiest man in the world with the angriest man in the world. Now we need to find like a really depressing comedian, you know?
Yeah, dude. Oh, Lemmy Show. We got to check out Lemmy Show.
Oh, okay.
It's so good bits.
There's this obscure British comedian that I like to watch named James Acaster. He's a very weird guy, but he's actually, there's a meme that came out of him. I got to pull it up because I can't remember what it is exactly.
I'm not. What's going on in the British comedy scene?
Oh, they have lots of ins all the time. You know, they're sort of very insular with their comedy, but I really like it. Yeah. It's a very different style. Yeah, it's the one of the guys saying, I have never before been so offended by something I 100% agree with. Yeah. That's nice. And I remember in that actual stand-up, it's a person saying, "Oh, what? Are you too good? Are you too good for old bananas?" It's like, I have never before been so offended by something I 100% agree with.
That actually makes it way better. That's awesome. Dude, you got to send me some of this stuff, dude. I got to check this guy out.
He has like multiple stand-ups on Netflix. He has like a whole like show of him doing stand-ups at the same club.
I got to be honest, man. Despite having like a family Netflix account, I haven't used Netflix like at all recently.
I barely watch regular TV.
We got to skim it for more trash, dude. We got to find bad movies.
Oh, there's a lot of trash on Netflix. Yeah. There's some shit on Netflix.
Especially the shit that Netflix makes. They will greenlight anything.
Which, honestly, we should go pitch a show to Netflix. Well, they'll take anything.
Yeah.
Just
write a script and Netflix will be like, what, you need what, a $2.5 $2.5 million to do that? Sure, man, go for it.
Dude, that's kind of the beauty of Freddie Got Fingered, that comedy with Tom Green, is that the whole movie itself is about a visual artist who kind of sucks at his job. He's an idiot. But they give him $1 million.
Will you grab me a gaffle?
Yeah. The premise is that some stupid animator, this real idiot, gets $1 million and has no idea what to do with it, so he blows it on a bag of jewels.
What? Like jewel?
Like diamonds and
stuff.
Just a bag of jewels. And the weird thing is that it seems as though it's a self-reflection on the movie itself. Some idiot gave Tom Green $1 million to make a movie, and he has no idea what to do with it. so he came out with this. It is beautiful in its construction. It's one of my favorite films.
It's kind of like
it's probably the worst film I love. though honestly, and people are gonna hate me for this one, I loved Man of Steel. Because I
never saw it.
I don't like Superman on principle. He seems like he has no weaknesses. He's just inherently good. What's interesting?
For a rock that doesn't exist.
A rock made out of his own planet, by the way.
Yeah, which is the really weird part.
Or is everyone on Krypton not constantly crippled? Just falling over all the time.
Right. Why is everyone not on disability?
Yeah, maybe that was
I guess you can't really put everybody on disability if disability stops working.
Yeah, but they're like, the reason I love Man of Steel is that I hate Superman, but I love Dragon Ball Z. So I came to see an alien crash land on Earth and just wreck shit. And I got everything I wanted out of that movie. As bad as it was. Dude, did you hear that?
You're like that guy from IGN who said, I think Sonic Forces is better than Sonic Mania.
Don't compare me to that man.
Actual opinion. It's like, okay, you can't have opinions anymore.
Dude, the Snyder cut of Justice League is coming out. People hate Zack Snyder. I don't like everything he does, but the man has vision.
I'm excited.
I want to see the Justice League without all the studio meddling, right? I want to just see what Zack Snyder's take on the subject was. So I'm very excited. Dark. Oh, you're not like visually. You're gonna need to turn up the brightness on your screen. He loves to turn up the blacks.
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude. But I'm gonna.
Man, that phrase in isolation sounds a little racist. Turn up the blacks.
Jesus Christ! Yeah. But dude, I'm definitely willing to find a free HBO subscription. We should check it out. The Snyder Cut.
Also, I've had a friend telling me to watch The Wire. because it's set in Baltimore. He said it was better than Breaking Bad.
No.
Have you seen it?
Yes, I've seen.
It's not better than Breaking Bad.
Not better than Breaking Bad, no, but it is good.
Have you guys seen The Boys?
Before we get to that, the first season of The Wire is really good. Second season's a little weird. Third season, really good. Fourth season, not fantastic, but the ending is good. For a show, it's good. But you're talking about The Boys?
Yeah, that's a sick show, dude. It's basically like if like Marvel was real and like
shit, yeah, I remember hearing about that.
It's pretty dark. It's extremely gory, but it's really good, I think.
Would you compare it to The Watchmen in any way?
Yeah, I think it's very akin to Watchmen in the sense that it's got a very anti-hero vibe to it in some regards, but there's also just like a lot of the heroes are just bad.
Nice.
Like a lot of them are just bad people. Like they just kill people and are corrupt.
Was there like an event that led to people having powers, or has this been something that's been happening through history?
I don't want to spoil it.
Okay, that's fair.
I've only heard good things. So.
It's a good show. I think it's honestly, like, as someone who's seen a good amount of real blood, I actually think it's pretty disturbing.
It's well done and scored.
Yeah. I think it's I like it a lot. It's very raw.
Nice.
If you're willing to see that.
Yeah, dude. We're checking out.
Also, I love phrases. As someone who's seen a lot of blood in real life, you weren't in the medical field.
Yeah.
To clarify.
Not a murderer, everyone. Just saying.
And that's how they caught him.
Damn it.
Dude. The Wire, pretty good. Actually, pretty good.
I recently... So I've been asking like so many people for I think I actually asked you. I was asking about this young adult book that I read when I was like,
Oh yeah,
in
you
fourth
mentioned
grade.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, and I couldn't find. Well, I found it just recently. It was called Deltora Quest.
Deltora Quest.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, they were in like a kingdom called Deltora, and they had to like each book like follow them trying to get this different gem for a belt.
Oh my god!
Did you read Deltora Quest?
Were there any dragons or anything or monsters, or am I totally full of shit?
There may have been. It was that kind of setting. It was like a fantasy realm.
I swear I read this.
Did you like remember when they meet the knight at the bridge and the knight gives them the ultimatum about how he'll kill them?
No,
because that was like the first book. Okay, anyways, like and like then at the end of the book series, like you have to rearrange the gems so they spell out Deltora, and you find out that like I'm not going to spoil any more about that because that's actually a pretty big plot point. But
I don't expect to be reading children's books anytime
Are
soon.
any of your followers gonna read Deltora Quest?
Currently there's no followers. No, I mean, I found out that there's an anime they made of it, and I am going to binge watch that anime.
Yeah, dude, I'll check that out.
Yeah, I'll let you guys know if it's any good. You know,
yeah, I'm interested.
What have you watched any other anime?
Yeah. I'm not like huge in anime, but I watched Full Metal Alchemist.
Nice.
7 Deadly Sins. Mob Psycho 100.
What about anime movies?
Gundam.
You watch Miyazaki? You watch?
Wait. I mean, I watched
Castle.
Yeah, Castle in the Sky. What's some of the other ones I watched? What's
Spirited Away?
Yeah, Spirited Away.
Nausicaa and the Valley of the Winds.
Kiki's Delivery Service. Yeah. I watched quite a few of those as a kid.
What about classic anime movies like Ghost in the Shell '95?
I saw Akira, but I don't remember it terribly well.
So good, dude.
Yeah, it was great.
The story is so-so. It's pretty good. But visuals, the way that they use light as a motif is beautiful. It's so well done.
It's definitely real. I think this might be unpopular, but I thought the plot for Akira wasn't very good.
No, I kind of agree with that.
Yeah,
but the way it was executed.
Incredible
fantastic.
Movie, just in terms of pure visuals.
Yeah, dude, I love the way that Ghost in the Shell handles firearms. Like they do it very realistically. Like the bullet impacts, you'll get the spalding that happens when a bullet hits a hard surface, dude. They do it very well. It's all very based in reality, but in a very near futures kind of sense, And it asks a lot of questions about, like bioethical questions about what it means to be human in a world where you can transcend the human form into the robotic. It's very interesting stuff.
Neat.
Yeah, it sounds cool.
Yeah.
I never really got into. I'm still not super into anime nowadays, just because when I was a kid, my older sister came downstairs and saw me watching Naruto, and I'd been watching like a few episodes because I thought it was kind of cool.
It is,
and she just roasted me, being like, "Oh, only the weird kids, watch Naruto. Yeah, the weeb guys."
Hey, Osama bin Laden watched Naruto.
Yeah,
come on.
He also played Flash games, so
yeah.
Honestly, Osama bin Laden apparently was just like a kid from the early 2000s.
Wasn't he growing weed too? Am I full of shit with that?
That could be true.
You can find Ruderalis.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure.
But because she said that, I just stopped watching anime for a long time, and then later on, I just I brought up anime with her and her boyfriend and everything. I was like, "Well, you roasted me as a kid for watching anime." She's like, "What? No, anime is totally normal to watch. There's nothing wrong with that."
Are you gonna do some counseling over this?
No. No, she was just a preteen
Dude,
girl.
have you ever
That's just how it goes.
Have you ever seen the anime Shigarai Death Frenzy?
What the hell?
Oh, now this Shigarai Death Frenzy.
Okay,
Seth, you gotta see this shit, dude. It takes place in like the 1600s, let's say, back during like feudal Japan, dealing between the rivalry between two people trying to ascend to the top of this one dojo, essentially. But it's you know that like traditional Japanese painting of the waves and everything.
Yeah,
it is done.
Yeah,
it's done in a very similar style to that, whereas it looks as if it's a moving painting. It is so beautiful, incredibly violent and fucked up. But
I've actually
samurai times.
I've actually looked at a bunch of like a Yokio art because I'm thinking about on like my left arm getting like a sleeve of just Yokio art.
That'd be pretty sweet.
I want to get like a whole bunch of stuff from the.
Ironically, the Japanese would hate you for that.
Oh yeah. But I want to get a bunch of stuff of the Russo-Japanese War.
Oh yeah,
I find it crazy that like a war.
John, how did you end up losing that one?
I didn't even know about that one. So
that's why they lost.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't hear about it, and they just kind of won. It just happened.
Dude, the history of that war is very interesting.
And I find it crazy that there's. It looks like an ancient style of, or like pre-modern style of art.
Yeah.
Yet like the Russo-Japanese War was the 1890s.
Yeah, dude.
That was the modern era.
Wow.
Yeah, and so I thought it'd be cool to get a bunch of stuff from that.
Dude, yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Man, did you hear about the Aleutian Islands campagn?
Yes,
the only fighting in World War II that happened on American soil.
Yeah, it was mostly diversionary for the Battle of Midway.
Yeah.
Though it also had to do with sort of a tactical thing where they wanted to be able to know what the Americans were doing as they were headed east.
Yeah, they're hoping to draw the carrier fleets away from Midway.
Away from Midway, and also just to know how the Americans were moving.
But dude,
in the Pacific Ocean,
more American soldiers died from friendly Canadian fire than the cold, of course. Than ever did from the Japanese. It was brutal
because the Japanese were gone when we got there.
Yeah,
they had left.
It was a total waste of time and just friendly fires left and right. It was
granted,
madness.
It was also a waste of time for the Japanese, which is why they left.
Yeah, they would have been much better just focusing on Midway because that went awfully. Though to be honest,
it was reported to the Japanese people as having been a victory.
Yeah.
So they must have won then.
If a victory can spark a chain of defeats that ends up with your capital burning, victory.
Yeah, that's a big. We didn't even want the islands. We just it was like a Huckleberry Finn thing where they were just like, "Ooh, we really want these Midway islands."
They really went and lost 3 carriers on a scrap of land that barely even mattered anymore.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, they doomed themselves.
You gotta respect the tenacity.
They did not realize how important carriers would be when they did Pearl Harbor, and they didn't consider it a major loss that they didn't hit the carriers.
Yeah, dude.
Fuck, were they wrong, man?
Yeah, dude.
Fuck, were they wrong?
It's really interesting studying the era of like the introduction of aircraft carriers and how they were trying to figure out how to set up combat air patrols and figure out what maneuvers actually worked. Like during the opening stages of the Battle of Midway, the Americans would send in their Dauntlesses and their whatever other planes they were using at the time, lose like 60% of them, and the rest would try to fly home. And there was no decisive victory for a very long time. until, the Japanese really started to slip up with their combat air patrols and overextending themselves, and it went very poorly.
Yeah.
It changed the world, really. That battle could have meant a lot if the Japanese had decimated the American aircraft carrier fleet.
What I find hilarious though about sort of the modern, often incorrect interpretation of Pearl Harbor, and it's like people always think like Hitler must have been like furious when the Japanese attacked the Americans and brought them into the war, when actually Hitler was a meth head who was ecstatic that they were going to bring down the Americans too.
If they could draw the Pacific Fleet from ever making its way to the Atlantic, that's a victory for Hitler.
Yeah. Yeah, and also, like, okay, this is just a funny tidbit about Hitler. Have you guys ever seen that video of him at the 1936 Berlin Olympics?
Yeah.
Where he's on way too much meth.
Saying some things he probably shouldn't have said on radio.
And also,
what did he say?
He wasn't so happy about the black athletes kicking his ass.
And also,
Not
like,
so happy.
him watching some of the races, he's just sitting there going, like, just rocking back and
just
forth.
grinding his teeth like a madman.
And, like, everyone around him is, like, moving at normal speeds, and he's just...
It looks like he's
animated
on 2.5 times playback speed. It looks like it's out of sync.
Yeah, it looks like he's just sort of slowly rocking back and forth, but at like twice the speed.
Dude.
Wow.
It's very creepy.
Man, what a time.
Yeah.
History is.
It's like he took meth
Interesting.
every day. He had intravenously injected cocaine and oxycodone.
Oh my
Really?
Yeah,
He was a propped up skeleton, dude.
Yeah. He was high as fuck all the time.
Why was he? So what led to his meth addiction?
It was prescribed to him. Meth, cocaine, and oxycodone were all prescribed to him for stomach. Yeah.
Was he on anything from the like damage he received from being gassed in World War One?
He may have been. I'm not
Did
sure.
that contribute to it?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I know that the story of him cutting his mustache because it like didn't fit on the gas mask was bullshit. I
had actually never heard that. I heard that one before.
Yeah, but it was bullshit. The actual reason, according to his sister, was that
Clara.
was that her name?
Clara Hitler. Yeah.
Clara Hitler. That's weird. It's just weird to hear of anybody else with the last name Hitler.
Yeah, old John Hitler down the street. Great guy.
Great guy. Not nothing like his great grandfather.
Yeah.
But no, he came back from like the war, and she told him that his mustache was a bit too long, and that as in most things, he took it too far. Yeah.
What a way to ruin a great mustache, dude.
Charlie Chaplin had one.
It looks great.
And it's like,
right there.
Yeah, I literally have his
You have a poster of him, dude.
Yeah, I promise that's not just Hitler wearing a weird hat.
Charlie Chaplin will become the new Pepe the Frog. He's like the most obvious dog whistle.
You've killed a mustache when not even Michael Jordan can bring it back into popularity. Do you remember when
he tried? I remember.
He grew a Hitler stash. Hold up, John.
What?
I gotta pull a picture of this for you.
For a second there, was it like the late '90s? He tried to pull it back.
Yeah, something like that.
Didn't work.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Google Michael Jordan Hitler stash.
Yeah, just took
Jamie, pull that up.
Huh? Yeah, that's a fucking. Yeah,
he tried to bring back the Hitler
Seth,
stash.
please get that on a shirt. That is so funny. That is awesome.
I just want to walk around with Michael. It's like
Seth, wear that shirt and right underneath it, I dare you to call me racist.
That's the shirt that Michael Jordan should have worn,
dude.
With that stash, it's like he's the only basketball player to win 2 trips, and even he couldn't make the Hitler stash become cool again.
It's a dead stash. Honestly, I'm surprised it didn't come back when Macklemore brought back Nazi youth haircuts.
Yeah, and actually, the Nazi youth haircut was really popular for a long time.
It was always a fresh look. People just don't like Nazis.
Okay, honestly, it's a fresh haircut.
They were the best dressed army ever. They looked awesome.
Yeah.
You can't deny that. The Nazis looked fucking sweet.
The SS
Hugo
uniform...
Boss leather. Seth, imagine this. It's 1938 France. You walk into a bar with your two henchmen on the side. You got the long ass jacket. You take off the hat. You look fresh as fuck, dude. Let's be honest.
I mean, they
Okay.
look like bad dudes
They
in
had
more ways
skulls
than
on their
one.
uniforms.
but think about that.
Yeah, I
Do
mean,
they look bad, or were they so sweet that they gave you the idea of what bad looked like? It was that prolific.
no, I think they looked intimidating
They-
and scary and
Cam,
purposefully were
they had
intimidating.
skulls on their hats. They
Badass.
looked like the bad guys.
Yeah, they were the best at looking like bad guys. You can't deny it. They looked awesome.
Like I said,
They did look
were
great. The uniforms were gorgeous.
they were bad in more ways
there's a
than
reason.
one.
Okay,
There's
They
a
looked
reason Hugo
bad.
Boss is still in business. He makes good clothes.
Yeah, and
It
okay,
just looked fresh.
okay. But I would argue that my favorite uniform are the late war French World War One.
Oh
Have
man,
you seen these things?
yeah, they were tight, dude.
Yeah, those baby blue uniform. Oh, that
Weird-
was
I've never seen
Weird
it.
color for sitting in the mud all day.
yeah.
but they looked fresh.
Yeah, and the early ones where they wore bright red and bright blue, that was stupid, and they looked bad.
Make yourself the easiest target possible.
Yeah, but then
Yeah.
when they put on the baby blues, I was like, that looks pretty good. you
Yeah.
know?
Wear some hunting orange.
Yeah, it's like, hey, remember, don't shoot the guys in orange. Well, no, do shoot the guys in orange.
Which it works doubly, right? Because I heard deer can't see orange.
Can't see orange, yeah.
Mm,
And it makes you stand out to other people, so they
it's
won't
like
shoot you.
camo.
Yeah.
Perfect in that sense.
Well, and actually, like, I know like a reverse thing is, if, like, a lot of times if you take a red ball and you throw it into green grass and it, like, stops moving before your dog finds it, they have trouble finding it because dogs can only see in blue and yellow.
Yeah.
And so what you've just done is thrown a yellow ball into yellow grass to their mom.
Yeah.
That's so yeah, it gotta be so confusing. Dude, do you think these new AR goggles that they're gonna give to the military, do you think they're gonna be able to see in I know they have night vision. Are they gonna have like thermal vision as
I'm
well?
sure.
Well,
Are
Eventually.
you gonna be able to see radiological
wait,
signatures?
wait, but
So if
do
you're
they
like
not already have things that can show thermal vision?
Oh, they do.
No, that's
But it's
yeah.
like
Fleur.
they used to be monocular and then binocular, but now it's going to be the entire screen. So like the entire
They're going to be able
goggle
to
is
integrate
AR.
a camera into the system.
Oh yeah,
Dude, if,
absolutely.
imagine being able to
it's so,
see
But are they gonna have to walk around with like an Oculus Rift? Like, how does
Yes.
that? Well, see,
You'd
but
like-
that would be uncomfortable.
like the goggles that used to just block sand will now also be your AR
What if
goggles.
it's just part of your helmet, though?
Yeah, I guess that's a lot more because I mean, like, because it's a heavy thing. It's a heavy thing if it's not being supported by anything. And also, I guess they already carry a lot of heavy shit, don't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but now it's just built into the goggles itself,
Yeah, and
which is awesome.
Wait till they build it into the fucking techno robot suits, dude.
Dude, people inside tanks are just
or
going
just
to
put in like a contact lens. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, dude. It's going to, like, the future of warfare is going to be very interesting. We're going to see some
Yeah.
crazy stuff. It's alarming to me that the military, like the special operations, are starting to train for underground fighting. They
Mhm.
expect some kind of urban conflict very soon, or they wouldn't be spending the money training these people for this.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
That is-
alarming.
Well, I mean, we are already in a lot of urban combat.
Yeah.
I mean, Syria, Iraq, Libya, Afghanistan. We're fighting in an urban environment.
Kind of. There's a lot
A
of
lot of
open-
it goes out in the mountains.
There's a lot of
yeah.
open space in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
You know?
But like, I mean,
But there was certainly Fallujah in 2005.
Yeah,
That was
or,
a heavy urban battle. That was that was the Stalingrad of our time.
what was the Well, which also I find it amazing that like there's an empire so powerful that they can fight a war for 2 decades and the general populace doesn't even feel the effects. you know? Like I've never had to do war rationing to win in Iraq. You know,
Mm.
like it's not going to happen.
Yeah, man.
But I mean, like what was the other one? Like Raqqa or something like that.
Raqqa, yeah.
yeah, Raqqa.
The city in Syria.
Yeah, where we had
Which,
to do.
look at photos of it from 2010. Look at photos of what's left of it now.
Yeah.
Not a single building unscathed. It's madness over there, dude.
Yeah, and a lot of that was ISIS because we actually kind of won that through sort of being nice to the people there.
Remember when ISIS was like a huge deal?
People were scared of ISIS.
Yeah, and now they're. I mean, do you hear
You
that?
haven't heard the name of the news in the
nothing.
last
You hear about
2
that?
years.
Because they're basically in the middle of the nowhere in the desert.
Yeah.
But did you hear about that thing recently? Where at an ISIS sort of celebration party meeting, whatever the fuck you want to call it, someone accidentally set off a bomb, killing 21 ISIS fighters.
Oh my
What?
god,
Yeah,
dude.
and just ISIS fighters.
What?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I'm sure
Dude,
that
have
guy
you-
got.
have you
Whoa,
heard-
No, it's ISIS. It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm always torn between loss of human life, but yeah, okay.
They're ISIS. You've kind
Yes,
of
you're
become
right. You're right. Okay,
You've become
okay.
subhuman to me at that
Dude,
point.
have you heard
You
about
burnt
this?
a Jordanian air pilot alive.
Dude, have you heard about this new? It's not new. I guess it's been around the last decade. There's a variant of the Hellfire missile that doesn't have an explosive inside of it. What it does is once it's like 20 feet above whatever object it's trying to hit, it pops open and exposes 4 blades and starts spinning helically.
What the fuck?
And it
Wait,
just
helically?
it just starts spinning and it shreds whatever target is. It's accurate enough to take out the driver of a car while leaving the 2 people in the back seat. Fine. But people have recovered scraps from this bomb, and there's just swords sticking out of the Hellfire missile. And this is real. They use it to
Like single people?
Yeah, they'll use it to take out a single person, maybe a person or 2.
You know,
They'll crush the driver's seat. And
I can think of a better way to do that. They actually developed this technology that takes out a single person. And I think it was back in the 1400s. It's called a bullet.
yeah.
You know,
But how are you
because
going to do that from an air-conditioned like room in Texas?
They don't put guns on them.
This is just a thing the military decided to put money into.
Okay, I guess if they put tungsten rods in geostationary orbit, you know.
Yeah, dude, rods from God.
Yeah,
It's gonna be insane.
We don't have those yet, though. I don't think we have those.
No.
I think the truly most intimidating space weapon we have right now, which isn't even a weapon, is the XJ-37.
What is that?
Or at least to my knowledge, it's it's just our space shuttle school bus thing that we use to spy on other countries.
There's
okay.
like a CIA DARPA variant that they've made that flies up carrying something.
And that
No one's allowed
one
to know.
knows.
But
Yeah,
it goes up there for months at a time, comes
Years.
down without the package, and continues to do it over and over
Yeah.
again, and we don't know what they're building up
shout out to Union of Concerned Scientists, because it's concerning.
Yeah, I've never heard of them before, but
yeah.
if they're concerned about that,
Yeah.
I am too.
Yeah, no, it's. I think the other really interesting feature about this thing is we can use it as a spy satellite.
Yeah.
But
Dude, you heard Elon Musk Starlink just got a contract with the military.
really,
So now Starlink is going to be used by the military for. They were saying a plane was flying at 30,000 feet, and it was able to maintain a 600 megabit per second connection to
wow.
Starlink at any given time. So our information technology is moving miles faster than it ever has.
That pilot must have been able to download video games so fast.
Bro, you know he was on the hub.
He's actually up there, like, just playing Oculus and shit.
Oh my god, dude. He's playing Counter-Strike Go, best ping in the game. My god. But Starlink is being co-opted by the military now.
Okay, so I just imagine him, like, going over, like, different airspaces and the flag, like, next to his name just changing constantly.
Oh god,
It's
yeah.
like, yeah, this guy's British. He's Dutch. He's German. He's
funny
Polish.
as
Dude, he's getting better internet up there than we can get in the area down here.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Better than premium. That's awesome.
Isn't Starlink's objective eventually just to have, like, free, fast internet everywhere on Earth?
Oh yeah, but just like the original internet, it was intended for the military and then got co-opted. Except this is opposite. It was intended for civilians, got co-opted by the military.
Yeah,
But you know what I'm saying.
You ever hear about that thing that Nikola Tesla was trying to invent, which would basically send you electricity through the air?
Yeah, I heard about
Yeah,
that.
which I don't know if it would ever work, but, like, it would be, like, free electricity for everyone.
Some
everywhere you
people
go.
think that's what the Tunguska event was. That machine going very, very wrong.
Yeah.
Leveling an
Tunguska?
entire. You've never heard of the Tunguska
I'm
event?
not.
In like it was past the late 1800s. It was like the early 1900s. Sometime around then, Nikola Tesla was, well, I don't think it was Tesla, but anyways, there was some weird event that happened out in the middle of the woods in Siberia, which leveled like 40 miles of tree, just wiped out everything in the area, and nobody knew what it was. But around the same time, Tesla was working on his energy distribution device,
Yeah.
which sounds crazy. I mean, you're just going to shoot electricity in the air and hope it lands somewhere.
Yeah,
Interesting.
because it kind of sounds like it could just, kill everything
Yeah,
around it.
We're affected by electricity. Like
It sounds,
yeah.
it sounds in a lot of ways like the HARP installation. You heard about that up in
No.
Alaska?
No.
I don't
It's
think
this-
HARP really.
It's this installation where
Oh, is it like a
supposedly
potential thing?
supposedly it's monitoring like magnetic waves and stuff up there. But some people think it has like
Controls the
weather,
weather.
control applications,
This
which
is
isn't insane. The government does have the ability to control the weather. There's
Yeah.
cloud seeding and a bunch of other ways to do
And
this.
there's also ideas that we've been using weather warfare.
They tried it in Vietnam.
Yeah, and they think that they might be using it in Iraq and
Yeah, dude.
Afghanistan,
You can create a massive flood, just destroy enemy entrenchments.
or a drought.
Yeah.
have them never get.
Yeah, that too.
You know?
It's Pandora's box, man. Once the weather manipulation game got opened up, you can't trust the next hurricane now, can you?
And I also love that the United like napalm under I think it's like the 9th Geneva Convention is like a war crime.
Yeah.
But the United States got around that by just not signing that one, and that's how we get around
That's a fun way to do
yeah,
war.
that's how we get around so many
Not
international
signing.
things by just not like
I don't
champagne is only supposed to be made in Champagne, France.
Yeah.
But we had prohibition on at the time, so we didn't sign it because we didn't see a point. And then when prohibition was lifted, we were like, "Oh wait, we can make champagne."
Yeah, dude.
We make all the world's cheap champagne.
Oh man.
sounds right.
Hell yeah. Well, I think that was a good episode. We're about an hour, 30 minutes in.
Okay, yeah. Real quickly, I want to give a shout out to Miller High Life. It's the pretty okay of beer.
Folks, they call it the champagne of beer. You take one sip of this, you're gonna love it, I tell you.
To call it the champagne of beer is to lie.
And also brought to you by Beer Lao, lager beer straight from Laos. Beautiful stuff, people.
Yeah, don't know how they got it here since it's a landlocked country.
Yeah, that's a good question. All right, I think that's it.